2. Can you hear me? Listen, if you look good, can you make some noise right now? I just wanted to check the room to see who was here, because if you didn't make any noise, I was going to have a side conversation with you after this, because you don't think that you look good. Okay, well, listen, my name is Sam Collier. I will not be long. Can we just make some noise right now for everybody that has just come up here? That was awesome. I don't think anybody will ever be able to follow Jarek. Okay, he's unbelievable. He had sounds, transitions. I felt like I was in heaven. Okay, just saying. I just wanted to say that, get it out my spirit. So my name's Sam Collier. I have a nonprofit called No Losing. And if I hit this and it goes to the next one, the slide. Boom, there it is right there. No losing. It's the idea that life is a game, and if it is a game, you can win the game. You don't have to lose, but you win the game by changing your mind. When you change your mind, you change your life. And so we go into underprivileged communities and teach young kids that if they change their mind, they can win. We tell them that they can win, and we give them the philosophy to do it. Over the past 3 years, I've been able to work with Martin Luther King's family, different celebrities, the Grammy Foundation, T.I., so many different types of people, and we created a program called the No C Campaign. And the No C Campaign it's all about A's and B's. No C's. All about A's and B's, no C's. It's a reward-based learning program. We've been able to go into middle schools and increase academic achievement by 50 to 60%. Just by going in, just based on the promise that at the end of the year, if you get all A's and B's, you get to meet a celebrity. Or you get to go to a concert, you get an Xbox, Microsoft, creativity. I mean, I think it's exciting that we're talking about the creative ties that bind us. So today I want to talk about creative responsibility. Tap the person next to you and say, wake up, we're almost done. Okay? And then tap the person on the other side of you and say, I'm excited to be here and I'm creative. I'm excited. Come on, say it like you mean it. Okay, and I'm creative. Okay, so as we talk about creative responsibility, I want to take you into a little story that blessed my life, and it changed my life about 2 or 3 years ago, and 2 or 3 weeks ago, and it brought me to this point to where I am right now. About 2 or 3 weeks ago, I was on the Steve Harvey show, and I met my family after 25 years. So I was 2 months old, me and my sister, twin sister, we got adopted at 2 months old. 2 months old, I'm so sorry, 2 months old. Somebody tapped me on the shoulder. Okay, wake up, we're almost finished. At 2 months old, we got adopted and by our adopted parents, obviously, and they raised us all the way to 25. We never met our real parents. We never even knew anything. We didn't know we had brothers. We didn't know we had sisters. We didn't know we had anything. And so about 3 years ago, my dad says to me, and I'm going to give you I'm from Atlanta. He's from the country. I'm going to give you the country voice. He said to me, well, what you need to do is find your parents. That's what you need to do. And we were like, okay, Dad. Okay. Me and my sister, okay, Dad, it's fine. We're going to find them when we're ready to find them. And so for the next year or so, he just kept saying that what you need to do is find your parents. He got with my mother. Y'all need to go find your parents. So about a year ago, they badgered my sister. They just badgered her. They were just like, well, what you need to do, okay? Because he has a barbershop on Auburn Avenue, which is right next to the King Center, Martin Luther King Center. Been there for 40 years. He watches Steve Harvey every single day. He said, what y'all need to do is write in to Steve Harvey because he can help you find your parents. If anybody can help you find your parents, he can help you find your parents. And I said, okay, Dad, okay. Whatever Sarah wants to do where's my twin sister, is what we will do, whatever she wants to do. She was a little bit on edge because, you know, she's dealing with the rejection thing. She didn't want to be rejected. I'm good. I'm like, if she wants to do it, we'll do it. It's all good. So I left. He somehow convinced her to write in to the Steve Harvey show. She did it out of spite because she was like, oh, my God, please just stop yelling at me, and I'll write in. So she wrote in, never thought that they would write us back. So about 3 weeks ago, they called us, and they said, we want to have you on the show. We want to help you find your parents. And so we said, okay. Now, how I found out, this is a great story. How I found out is I'm walking around my house. My sister calls me. I answer the phone. I say, hello. She says, the Steve Harvey show just called us. They're going to call you by. I said, okay. I called her back, said, are you okay? She said, they going to call you by, and hung up the phone again. 2 minutes later, my mother calls me. Oh my gosh, the Steve Harvey show just called us. They want y'all to come on. We're so excited. They want me to send some papers. Can you help me? I said, yeah, I can help you. Okay, I'll call you back. Then they called me. They said, well, your sister's not too excited. I said, I know. She's not too excited. But they said, we want to have you on the show. I said, it's all good. Can you help your mom send some papers? I said, well, my mother is 63 right now. So if she tries to email or fax anything, we may not ever get to the show. And so I said, I'll go help her. I went over to the house. It's about 12 midnight. My mom had 100 to 200 pages spread out all over the room. I said, Mom, what are we going to do all these pages? She said, well, I got the ink. I said, Mom, we don't have a scanner, okay? So just give me the papers, and I'll go to Kinko's. I ended up sending the information. Make a long story short, we ended up flying to Chicago. They lied to us, and they said, we have not found anybody. We've been looking everywhere. We have a private investigator searching for your parents. We can't find them anywhere. And so we're like, okay, cool. We're going to bring you on the show to make a plea. We get on the show. We're getting ready to make our plea. Steve Harvey says, well, we got twins here with an amazing story. And we know we told you we didn't find anybody. But your mother is here, and you have 3 siblings, and they're here as well. Come on now. And at that moment, everything in my life just shook. It was just, my entire inside was like, it was like this. People asked me how you're feeling. I didn't know how to feel. I didn't know if I was happy, sad, angry, upset, excited. I didn't know what to expect. My sister's crying. Steve Harvey's crying. People in the audience are crying. Everybody's crying. And I'm just sitting there. And our mother walks out, and I'm just standing there like this. I mean, you don't know what to do in that moment. And in that moment, it's for the first time I felt the difference between my flesh and my spirit. And my spirit says to me, wait, snap out of it, get up, go give her a hug. I get up, I go give her a hug. The audience goes wild. I sit back down in my seat. Steve says, how do you feel? I said, I don't know how to feel right now, but I want to tell you that I feel like my spirit is saying hallelujah. It's saying, so on and so forth. Blessings. My brothers and sisters came out. My parents from the audience, they came down, and we all had a big group hug, family hug on stage. Steve said, well, that's the show. But the real story, and I'm gonna wrap it all up, the real story happened after the show, because that's when I began to learn about my origin, about who I was and where I'd come from. And some of the things my brother told me, the first thing he said to me, he's 28, he looks just like me. He says, you didn't want to grow up with us. You and your sister, y'all didn't want to grow up with us. We didn't have anything. There were times we had to hold our mother. We had to hold each other because we didn't have any food. We were shaking everything, and we were shaking. We didn't have any food to eat. I then found out from my mother that me and my brother were the only men in our family not to be in prison, not to get locked up, not to be in jail, not to sell drugs. I then found out my mother sold crack cocaine for 4 years, was like a kingpin in the drug game. And then I found out my grandfather died about 2 years ago. In jail, he had a double life sentence for killing 3 people. And it was in that moment that I started thinking about my nonprofit. And I said, and I didn't get upset about where I came from, but what I began to think is, I said, the people that I'm targeting in our nonprofit, we go into the underprivileged communities. We go to the hood, the worst of the worst. I said, the people that we target in our nonprofit with creativity, they're not just people, they're me. They're my mother. They're not just people, that's my family. That's me when I walk in there. That's me I'm looking at. That's me I'm trying to save. And it was also in that moment that I realized that if we have been given creativity, that our creativity is not for us. Our gifts, it's never been about us, but it's always for somebody else. It's always to help the world become a better place. And I want to challenge us right now as I close, that if you are creative at all, which I believe everybody in here is, you have a business, you have a nonprofit, you have a tech startup, you're a singer, you're a dancer, whatever you do, I want to challenge you to use what you do to make the world a better place. Because what would the world be like if everybody that was creative just started thinking about different strategies for how to stop homelessness and how to get rid of poverty and to go after human trafficking and to the strip club might close down. Don't laugh. I'm just saying. What would happen if we started writing songs to inspire a community and to change their minds and to teach people that they were winners? And it's something that we all know, it's something that we all feel in our hearts that we need to do, but somehow sometimes we just don't do it. Sometimes we run after the fame. Sometimes we use our creativity for influence. Sometimes we want somebody to look at us and say, hey, you did good. But what if we just erased all that and got back to the original purpose? And that's to help somebody become better. Thanks. It's my family. It's my family.